It started with a simple blog post, and now the dad bod is literally everywhere. It's a look that's celebrated, it's debated, and for a lot of us, it's just, well, it's life. But what is it really? Is it just a harmless sign of a life well lived, or is it maybe a health warning in disguise? Let's deconstruct it. And here it is. This is the phrase that pretty much kicked the whole thing off. Back in 2015, Mackenzie Pearson hit the nail on the head, describing that perfect sweet spot. A nice balance between a beer gut and working out. People heard that, and boom, a cultural icon was born. And we're not talking about a niche trend here. Get this. A survey from dating.com found that a whopping 75% of singles actually prefer the dad bod over a totally chiseled six-pack. I mean, that's a massive shift in what people find attractive. And that brings us to the big question, right? On one hand, the dad bod is celebrated. But on the other, what about the health side of things? Is it a sign of confidence, or should we be concerned? Let's look at both sides of the coin. Okay, first up, the rise of the dad bod. So what's the big deal, really? Why did this look get so popular? Well, the answer might surprise you. It's about a whole lot more than just physical appearance.
Check this out. A Planet Fitness survey found that 78%, almost 80%, of women see the dad bod as a sign of confidence. And my favorite part, nearly half of them are calling it the new six-pack. It really seems like being authentic is the new perfection.
And this slide really gets into the why. It's about what the body type seems to represent. So while a super-defined, chiseled body can be associated with higher testosterone, maybe even a wandering eye, the dad bod is linked to things like being affectionate, nurturing, a good potential parent. It's about the qualities people value for the long haul. But okay, it's not all about cultural appeal and positive vibes. There's a serious health side of this story that we really need to talk about. And there are the personal struggles that often get completely overlooked in all the memes. This quote from a Reddit user, man, it's a powerful reality check. It reminds us that for a lot of guys, the dad bod isn't something to be proud of at all. It's a source of genuine unhappiness and a real desire to change. It's the personal struggle that you don't see online. So what's the actual health risk we're talking about? Well, a lot of it boils down to something called insulin resistance. Here's how to think about it. Insulin is like the key that lets sugar into your body's cells for energy. With insulin resistance, the locks on your cells get kind of rusty. The key doesn't work so well anymore. So your body has to pump out more and more insulin to get the job done, and that's where the trouble really starts. And trust me, the consequences of that are no joke. As Dr. Carl Nadolsky points out, it's a slippery slope that can lead to some really serious health problems. We're talking prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, stroke. That harmless beer gut could actually be a sign of something much more serious happening on the inside. So you might be wondering, how does this even happen? Well, studies show that fathers, on average, tend to weigh more than non-dads. And then you add in lifestyle stuff, like when you drink alcohol, your liver is busy burning that off instead of fat, or just being less active, which leads to losing muscle. It's kind of the perfect storm for developing a dad bod. So what if you're feeling more like that Reddit user and you want to make a change? What's the plan? Well, the good news is you don't need a ton of money or some fancy pants gym. Let's walk through a super practical, budget-friendly blueprint for getting healthier. To see real, lasting results, experts say you've got to tackle this from 3 different angles. You need a solid workout plan, a smart diet strategy, and some simple lifestyle adjustments. Let's break down each one. Here's a pro tip from performance expert Matt Jones that might sound a little backward at first, but it's absolutely key. Want to burn more fat? You've got to build more muscle. Think of muscle as a calorie-burning engine that's always running, even when you're just sitting on the couch. That's why strength training is a non-negotiable. And the best part? You do not need a fancy gym to do it. The key is just consistency. Try to get in 3 to 5 workouts a week. You can just walk more, find tons of free workout videos on YouTube, or grab some cheap gear like a kettlebell or resistance bands. It's all about finding something you'll actually stick with. Now, when it comes to diet, let's just forget all the complicated fads for a second. It really, truly boils down to one simple equation: calories in versus calories out. If you want to lose weight, you have to burn more calories than you take in. That's it. Just tracking what you eat for a few weeks can be a total game changer. And eating healthy doesn't have to break the bank, not at all. This slide gives you a great idea of how to build a super affordable meal plan.
Stock up on cheap proteins like eggs, beans, and canned tuna. Add in healthy carbs like oatmeal and sweet potatoes. And of course, load up on veggies. It's simple, it's cheap, and it absolutely works.
All right, finally, let's talk lifestyle. These are the small hinges that swing big doors. Seriously, making these little changes can make a huge difference. Get enough sleep, drink more water, try to manage your stress, and yeah, cut back on the booze. These simple habits will supercharge your results from diet and exercise. So, after all that, what's the bottom line? Where do we land on the dad bod? Well, it's a really complex thing with two very, very different sides to it. Let's sum it all up. On the one hand, it has become a celebrated look, a symbol of confidence, of being approachable, what some are calling the new six-pack. But on the other hand, for many, it can be a personal struggle, a source of unhappiness and a potential red flag for some pretty serious health risks down the line. So here's the thing. The dad bod is a paradox. It is both a cultural icon and a potential health indicator. It's a source of pride for some people and a real reason for change for others. There is just no simple one-size-fits-all answer here. So in the end, it's not really about the label, is it? It's about how you feel in your own skin. Whether you have a dad bod, you love someone who has one, or you want to change one, the most important question is this: what does a healthy and confident body mean to you? And that's a question only you can answer.